Cold snaps, nutrition, and holiday fire safety are topics for the day as we're in the seasonal swing of things. Hi, and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Patterson. When the cold weather hits, find out what programs are available for families who may need assistance paying home energy bills. Then, Florida-friendly landscaping is just as important during the winter months as it is in the summer. So, urban and residential horticulturalist Joe Sewards will bring us some information on what we can be doing now. Then, Here and Now reporter Kendra Lee will be taking a look at making wreaths with the folks at the LIHEAP Environmental Center. And finally, in the studio, we'll have a chance to join Community Information Director Dave Byron for a look at holiday fire safety with his guest, Deputy Fire Chief Howard Bailey. Those stories, news, and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. Stay tuned. The Robert Strickland Shooting Range will close for routine lead removal for 10 days beginning December 8th. The popular county-owned range, which opened in 2006, draws more than 20,000 gun enthusiasts each year. Nationwide, gun sales have been climbing for nearly a decade, and they surged in recent years. According to FBI data, the number of firearm background checks rose from 9 million in 2005 to all-time highs of more than 21 million in 2013. A quarter of Americans say they own a gun. Nearly half of gun owners say they purchase the gun for protection, while 32% use guns primarily for hunting. The fastest growing demographic of gun owners is women. Tim Bailey, the county's Parks, Recreation, and Culture Division Director, said the county's shooting range is a safe and well-managed facility for gun owners to practice.
The shooting range attracts people of all backgrounds, including couples, retirees, hunters, veterans, and law enforcement officers. Safety is our primary concern. We have a strict safety policy, and our range master is always on duty to make sure they are followed to the letter. If you're planning to visit the shooting range, bring your own gun, ammunition, paper targets, eye and ear protection.
The range provides a covered firing lane for handguns at 7, 15, and 25 yards. High-caliber rifles may be fired from 50 and 100 yards. Any caliber handgun or rifle may be used except for 50 caliber BMG rifles, shotguns, and fully automatic weapons. Annual pass holders will receive 10 extra days to compensate them for the closing. The Strickland Shooting Range is open from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. every day but Monday, and it's at 1180 Indian Lake Road in Daytona Beach. Daily passes are available for $10, semi-annual passes are $70, and annual passes are $100. The shooting range will reopen Friday, December 19th. For more information about the Robert Strickland Shooting Range, you can call 386-226-0477, or you can visit volusia.org/parks. This is the time of year when occasional cold snaps hit, and many local families will need help paying their heating bills this winter. Volusia County has more than $200,000 in federal funds from the Low-Income Home Energy Assistance Program to help eligible households with their home energy bills.
On an annual basis, we probably serve over 3,000 families throughout Volusia County with this particular program. This program starts each year in April, and so far for the first 6-8 months of the program, we've assisted over 2,800 people or households with their heating and their cooling bills.
To qualify for assistance, family household total income cannot exceed 150% of the federal poverty guidelines. The program has 3 components: the Home Energy Assistance Program, the Crisis Assistance Program, and the Weather-Related Program. The Home Energy Program is for Volusia County residents who meet income criteria based on household size. If eligible, they may be entitled to receive assistance up to $475 once every 12 months. To qualify for the Crisis Program, families must have a past due energy bill and meet income criteria based on household size. Eligible households can receive up to $600 per year based on the minimum amount required to resolve the energy crisis. The weather-related program may be instituted upon order by the President, Governor, or Department of Economic Opportunity. Payments are made to vendors on behalf of eligible households with the highest home energy needs, and the lowest household income will be accepted. Priority will be given to households with children 5 years of age or younger, disabled persons, and elderly persons. For more information, you can call 386-736-5956. Healthy eating during childhood and adolescence is important for proper growth and development and can prevent several health problems such as obesity, iron deficiency, and osteoporosis. That's why the University of Florida Volusia County Extension is working to ensure children get proper nutrition through its Youth Family Nutrition Program.
Well, it's very important we try to get into as many schools as possible because right now 1 in 3 youth are overweight and 17% of our youth are obese. So this has tripled in the last generation. So if we get to the children early, we feel VPK through 4th grade, they can make lifelong decisions and change their lifestyles as adults.
Through the Youth Family Nutrition Program, schools are in a unique position to promote healthy eating and help ensure appropriate food and nutrient intake among students. Schools help to provide students with opportunities to eat an array of foods and beverages throughout the school day and learn about healthy eating behaviors.
So another objective we've had over the years with the Family Nutrition Program is to get it out to the community, promote fresh, local produce, and of course at the farmers market you get a good value. We're always promoting local markets, and this is another day that we come out, we celebrate our local farmers. So we've got our citrus here today, all different varieties, and of course you're going to get 100% of your daily value of vitamin C, lots of folate, potassium, fiber, so it's a wonderful snack for both kids and adults.
In 2011, the program reached more than 142,000 Florida residents with direct nutritional education and 2.5 million residents through messaging at events and other outreach opportunities. For more information about the Family Nutrition Program, you can log on to the county's website and click on the Extension Service in the drop-down menu.
Many of the items you throw out are not biodegradable and take centuries to break down. Reduce, reuse, recycle are separate but interconnected ideas that minimizes waste and saves money. The process is simple. The best way to reduce waste is to avoid creating it. According to the EPA, on average, Americans each produce over 4 pounds of trash per day. To help reduce trash, switch from plastic to reusable bags. Next, reuse items destined to be discarded. Get creative in reusing trash to reduce waste and save money. Finally, recycling takes items from materials that are discarded and turns them into new products. For example, plastic bottles can be recycled into carpet and benches. Many communities make recycling easy by offering programs such as curbside pickup. Newspaper, plastic bottles, glass, and pop cans are all recyclable items. Reduce, reuse, recycle decreases the amount of waste people create. Help keep our earth clean. Make the choice to reduce, reuse, and recycle today.
For more information on Volusia County's recycling program, you can visit volusia.org and select Recycling from the drop-down menu. The holiday season has kicked off and festive projects are on the horizon. If you're ready to get crafty, Volusia Here and Now reporter Kendra Lee has a holiday activity that's just around the corner.
Nothing is better than a homemade gift or a new piece of decor to brighten up your home. The Leone Environmental Center in Deltona has projects every week for kids and families. Sandy Falcon is the manager of the center.
The LEC is an environmental center that is part of Volusia County Park, Recreation, and Culture. We are open free to the public every single day of the year. We offer school field trips. We have hands-on exhibits for kids. We have a wide variety of programs for families throughout the year on the weekends and weekdays as well.
During the holiday season, the LEC offers special programming that brings together creative crafts and the holiday spirit.
I want a hippo hippopotamus for Christmas.
We try to really focus on families for the holiday season, so we offer family-friendly programming. One of the programs that we offer is our holiday wreath making program. It's offered twice a year. It's offered on December 18th and December 20th from 10 until 1:30. Families can come to the LEC and create a fantastic natural wreath for their home. $10 per wreath, and they get all the materials supplied for them. We provide hot apple cider and cookies for them as well. We play holiday music, and they just get a wonderful time to spend with their family creating something beautiful for their house.
If Black Friday wore you out and you're tired of holiday shopping, come over to the LEC to learn about holiday wreath making. Not only will you be helping the scrub habitat, but you'll also get to take home a wonderful holiday wreath you've made with your family.
We go out to the preserve and we cut down the sand pine that's in the preserve. Sand pine isn't an exotic species, but it's not really supposed to be there. So we try to do our part and remove it from the preserve, and we use it to create our wreaths.
Sand pine belongs in Florida and is native to Volusia County, but unfortunately not the scrub jay habitats. The LEC assists land management to remove sand pine and further preserve the scrub jay's home during the holidays.
Well, LIHEAP Preserve being scrub habitat, it's very high and dry. We're home to over 170 different scrub jays. It is sugar sand. And so sand pines, you would think, when you think of sand pines, you would think they should grow in sugar sand, but they can actually be detrimental to the scrub jay itself. And so removing those sand pines really helps the scrub habitat and the other plants flourish, like the rosemary and the rusty lionia, which are naturally supposed to be there. They can get glitter, they can get ribbons and bows and bells and all sorts of different things to create whatever kind of wreath that they would want. They have lots of different forms that are available to them. They can use sort of the standard form, which is a coat hanger shaped in whatever shape they want. Or we have collected muscadine grapevine as well, so they could have a grapevine wreath or a sand pine wreath.
Already have a wreath for this year? The LEC offers many other holiday programs.
We have lots of different things. We have holiday movies that we're going to be showing, so you can come and have some popcorn and watch a holiday movie. We have some holiday science programs that we're doing too, so kids can come in and they can learn how to make snow and make snow paint and snow foam and flubber and different things like that. We also have some hikes going on.
I want a hippopotamus for Christmas.
The Natural Holiday Wreath Making Program is for families and children of all ages. So, there's no age restriction, no size restriction, but plenty of family fun. For Volusia Here and Now, I'm Kendra Lee.
Hippopotamuses and hippopotamuses like me do.
Now, the Natural Wreath Making Program is on December 18th and December 20th. For more information, you can visit LIHEAPpreserve.com. Back in August, our residential horticulture specialist, Joe Sewards, introduced us to ways to grow vegetables at home and save money. Today, we'll take a look at what he's grown in the garden in the last 3 months. And I have to warn you, you can be quite surprised.
Hi, I'm Joe Sewards, and this is Horticulture Today. Wow, what a difference 4 months makes. We started this edible landscape project in August, and as you can see, we've got a lot going on here. Plants have really grown. We've actually gone through one harvest of spaghetti squash. This is the last of it. We've also gone through a whole harvest of cucumbers. It's gone now. We've replanted. Things continue to grow. Fall is an excellent time to grow edible crops in your landscape. And what we're trying to do here in this demonstration project is show homeowners different ways to incorporate edible plants within the landscape. Here we have a traditional row crop garden. You can see we've got kale, we've got broccoli, we've got Chinese cabbage, we've got eggplant, we've got zucchini, various types of squash. All kinds of things can be grown in the fall garden. One of the goals of this project is to demonstrate different ways for people to grow edible crops at home. This is an example of one of those alternative ways. This is floating hydroponics. This is a great way to grow a variety of leafy vegetables, what I call short-term crops. And in this particular bed, we have examples of collards, we've got Chinese cabbage, we have red cabbage, we have Swiss chard, we have herbs, we have lettuce. All of these do great in floating hydroponics. They grow very, very quickly. This was just planted 10 days ago. No weeds, no pesticides, you don't have to water it. You can get 2 or 3 crops out of each tank full of nutrient solution. Very easy, very clean. It's a lot of fun as well to put this together. So if you've got poor soil at home, if you don't have a lot of room, this is a great alternative. A bed like this can be built for under $50. Once the infrastructure is in, the only thing you have to replace are the plants and the nutrient solution. So it makes it very easy, and it's a fun project for the kids as well. This is a slightly more sophisticated example of hydroponics. This is hydroponic strawberries growing in styrofoam containers in a tower system. These get 15 minutes of a nutrient solution twice a day. Just to give you an example of how fast plants grow in hydroponic systems. These strawberries were planted the 1st of October. And as you can see, we've got baby strawberries coming on. In about 2 to 3 weeks, we'll be eating strawberries out of these, and all through the winter. They will require some cold protection from time to time, but not very much. But again, this is an excellent example of how you can incorporate edible plants within your landscape very easily. Oh, and as a reminder, did you remember to set your sprinkler timers to once a week? Remember, during Eastern Standard Time, you're only allowed to water once per week, and you may not even have to water that often if it rains. For Horticulture Today, I'm Joe Sewards. Feel free to call us at the University of Florida Volusia County Extension Office, or you can visit our website as well. The phone number is area code 386-822-5778, or you can go to volusia.org/extension.
Time now to head into the studio to join Community Information Director Dave Byron and his guest, Deputy Fire Chief Howard Bailey, for a look at holiday fire safety.
Well, thank you, Amber, and happy holidays, everyone. You know, it seems as though every holiday season we hear the tragic story of someone's home burning down due to carelessness with candles, shorted out lights, or the holiday tree catching on fire. And as the weather turns colder, there's more of a chance of a structure fire due to improper use of interior heating devices. With these things in mind, we thought this would be a good time to talk about practicing fire safety in the home. Hey, not just during the holidays, but all year long. So we have with us in the studio today from Volusia County Fire Services, Deputy Chief Howard Bailey. Howard, how you doing? Thank you very much for being with us, and happy holidays to you.
Well, thank you, Dave. I appreciate being here today, and I will wish you a happy holiday.
Well, thank you. Same to you, Howard, and the men and women of Volusia County Fire Services. You know, we have this conversation every year as we get into the Thanksgiving, Christmas holiday season. You know, Howard, you're a career firefighter, and I know you've seen the tragedies right around Christmas time when, unfortunately, someone's home burns down from a careless mistake. I mean, there's nothing more tragic than that, is there?
No, there's not, and unfortunately we know it's going to happen every year.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's just a matter of what community gets affected, but it's definitely a tragedy.
And a lot of people, of course, you know, around the holiday period, as much as it is a good time of the year, it's also a very stressful time of the year. You know, people have families in and they're trying to get everything together and they're out and about. And a lot of times, you know, they just don't have their wits about them. And in other words, they get a little preoccupied, and that's when accidents can happen.
Absolutely. You know, it's that time of year. It's hectic. Everybody's got something going on.
Right.
And we always try to make sure everybody takes a step back and keep safety in mind.
Howard, of course, a lot of people like to decorate around the house, you know, put the lights up on the outside, put the tree up on the inside, burn some candles, that sort of thing. Let's talk about the lights and stringing together lights. One of the problems that people can have is they put too many lights together, correct?
Yes, yes. What we try to tell people, of course, is to follow manufacturer's recommendation, UL type rated, you know, strings of lights, and depend on the manufacturer, usually the rule of 3, but again, manufacturers may differ, but we do try to get them in the phase of actually reading the directions and following them, because as you know, you probably have a few neighbors yourself they like to decorate.
Oh, yeah. And Howard, there's a difference, I think, between lights that were made for exterior purposes as well as than lights that are really more for interior purposes. There's a difference there, is there not?
Good point. Indoor, outdoor, specified right on the box and on the cord themselves when you open the box.
And of course, a lot of people, myself included, you know, when the holidays are over, you pack everything up. You know, you bring it up in the attic and it stays up there in 100 degrees all summer and that sort of thing. I suppose when you get the last year's lights out and so forth, it's a good idea probably to give them a good once-over, kind of a safety check.
First thing that comes to mind is Christmas vacation. Comes down with that big ball.
Yeah.
Tells Russ to, you know, plug them in. And, you know, yeah, we have to inspect those. It's a tedious process. A lot of times people, when they're taking them down the year before, don't go through the process of unplugging them and individually packaging them.
Right.
So you got to open them up, you got to inspect them. And what we also like to recommend is you actually plug them in while down on the ground to make sure everything's working properly before you actually get up and install them all, so you're not working off of a roof.
Hey, let's talk about holiday tree safety. A lot of people like to use, you know, real trees that they can cut themselves or, you know, purchase locally and so forth. What's your advice for people if they're going to have particularly a real holiday tree?
The greener the better. Everything you read will tell you that. Nice and green. Before you actually put it in the stand, cut about 2 inches off, get it in some fresh water and keep it watered.
Right.
Where a lot of people, you know, will tend to actually keep that tree long past Christmas till the New Year, and they think after Christmas they don't have to water it. So if you're not getting it green on the onset, or you're keeping it too long, that's where a lot of tragedies happen.
And you know, one of the points, Howard, about you know, buying a tree here in Florida, you know, a lot of those trees come from farms out of state, and so they may have been cut several weeks before they arrive in the state of Florida.
Absolutely, and you see that on the lot. You can
Right.
go up to it and kind of give it a shake onto the ground. Needles will start to fall off, and you really got to pay attention to that when you're looking for one.
This is a time of year, Howard, obviously, where it starts to get a little chilly, a time or two in Florida. A lot of people have fireplaces. What sort of advice do you have for people, particularly if they're going to crank up the fireplace for the first time in the season?
Have it cleaned. I mean, a lot of times people, the idea of having to call somebody to come out and clean it might be burdensome, but we get a lot of chimney type fires, believe it or not, in Florida.
Right. Yeah.
People wait until this time of year to actually, you know, burn in the fireplace during the holiday season, but they need to make sure it's cleaned, obviously, make sure the flue's open. They're not used to using it all year,
Right.
so sometimes they forget this. So fireplace, what we put around the fireplace, you know, during that time, a lot of decorations sometimes get stacked up around it.
Right.
Presents, cards, things of that nature, and they're all flammable.
Well, and the other thing, Howard, I think about an indoor fireplace is the fact that the source that you use to burn, the type of wood, for example, there's a great deal of difference. Pine, for example, has kind of a pitch to it that is probably not the best source of wood to use.
Well, pine definitely will coat the chimney
Right.
itself with a lot of products that will tend to stay there and
Right.
accumulate and cause those fires, but also different types of wood. Important to screen it because the wood will have a tendency to pop,
Right.
throw out some embers and things of that nature. So the importance of that screen device up front is very important.
It also makes common sense, I think, that obviously if you're going to have a real fire in the fireplace, might be opening gifts, people spreading stuff around the living room, be sensible about where that wrapping paper ends up, because it doesn't take but a second for wrapping paper to catch on fire.
Correct, and people's tendencies to throw it into the fire.
There you go.
And we definitely don't want that as well. So yes, keep that stuff away. A lot of kid activity, obviously,
Right.
around the house, so people not paying attention. We try to tell them to keep all that stuff away from the fire and actually dispose of it in the trash.
And of course, holidays are a great time for holiday candles. A lot of people like to burn candles around the house. You know, they look good, they smell good, and that sort of thing. But unfortunately, you can have a lot of problems with candles, particularly in Florida, for example. It could be really chilly in the morning, but by 11 o'clock, it's warmed up. They might have opened the window and not realized they'd left a candle on. It blows over. I mean, so candles you have to be careful of as well.
The type of holder that it's placed in, where it's placed, again, a lot of pets around the house can actually jump
There
up
you
and
go.
knock one over. But definitely through the holiday season, people get really festive and they start to burn candles a little bit more than they would throughout the year.
And you know what's come on scene in the last few years are candles that are actually battery powered, that flicker and so forth, and they actually look like real candles, and that's probably a better alternative.
Very popular, and the variety that they have now compared to a couple of years ago is amazing.
Right.
So you can get the same effect and the same, and with all the safety. And they'll actually turn off after a period of time as well if they're left unattended.
Right. Howard, of course, as it gets chilly on these nights in Florida, a lot of people like to use, the heating source inside the home. We see people with space heaters. Some people have kerosene heaters, that sort of thing. And I know you can almost count on the fact you're going to have house fires from heating sources. What sort of advice do you have there?
Well, we will. You're right. We will have those calls every year. We have them.
Right.
Almost like the Christmas tree. Anytime you put a portable heating device, which is meant to really supplement,
Correct.
The heating. But where you do put those, making sure you have a 3-foot, area around them. Don't store the fuel inside the house,
Really?
in or around it. And again, this time of year, Christmas gift, Christmas trees, just keep them away. Like the lights manufacturer's recommendation, you can't go wrong. Everything past that is just safeguarding with the kids and the pets.
Yeah, because I think the point that you're trying to make is like a lot of these indoor heating sources, if they're electric, they do consume a good bit of electricity, and the cords can get hot.
Absolutely. Now that you bring that up, they also recommend you not to even use an extension cord, which
Right.
they want you to direct plug into the source of electricity and not use an extension cord with those because of that.
So one of the other things that we always like to talk about during the holiday season is cooking. People like to eat and so forth. You see a lot of people like to deep fry turkeys and so forth. And if you don't handle that right, I mean, that can get out of hand in a hurry, correct?
Yeah, it's amazing over the last 10 years how much grease-type fire cooking we've had with fryers, with
Right.
turkeys, and for Christmas and Thanksgiving. And
Yeah, we've
surely
seen
not-
We've seen those videos where if the thing turns over and all of a sudden,
Absolutely.
bam.
Yeah, 2/3 of our fires are cooking related.
Interesting.
And surely enough, with the popularity of deep frying the turkeys nowadays is definitely, even just moving it around, spilling the grease, hot,
Right.
igniting,
Mhm.
a lot of other types of incidents can occur outside the fireside.
It's not just the grease that can start the fires, but if that hot grease, if it gets on you, I mean, you can get a pretty significant burn.
Absolutely.
Howard, we say this again year round, but it's probably a wise thing to just think about your smoke detector, particularly during the holiday season. Always have those batteries checked and that sort of thing. I mean, what advice do you have for people as it relates to their smoke detector?
Year round, change your clock, change your battery. Tendency is we just changed it, but the fact is that's the best practice. There are some longer life batteries out there. A lot of the newer homes have, AC with battery backup and think, well, it's got AC. Change your clock, change your battery. Best practice.
Our guest today, Howard Bailey, Deputy Chief with Volusia County Fire Services. Again, Howard, thanks for being with us.
You're welcome. Thank you, Dave.
And with that, Amber, we'll go back to you.
Thanks, Dave, and thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can always feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. Incidentally, you can find the County Council's meeting calendar there too. In fact, you can use volusia.org to find out about meeting dates, workshops, topics of interest, activities, and how you can become involved. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Patterson. Have a wonderful evening.